Hey everybody. So, because I'm filtered up on TikTok, this is going to be a relatively short video. Um, I wanted to vent about something, and it's something I've wanted to talk about for a while. And it's going to be two things I'm going to talk about. If somebody really wants me to just like rant on about it for a while, then let me know. Otherwise, we'll just leave it here. So, the two topics are why no one tries to get men to settle for the most part, overwhelmingly. Men do not, or people do not try to talk men into settling, but they definitely try to talk women into settling, heavy on black women into settling. Um, and, but we don't really try to talk men into it. Okay, so that's one. And two is about how men are very dishonest about what they like. You know what? This is probably going to be two videos. So we'll start off with the first one about men settling. So I am officially a little over 300 pounds. I'm 301.4 at last weigh-in today. Womp womp. I'm 5'6". I'm a 24 in clothes. I'm a wonderful person. Watch my videos. I'm pretty awesome, right? And yet, since I've been broken up with my ex, which has been going on 10 months, or excuse me, 11 months, I think. I think next month, yeah, because next month will be our anniversary of breaking up. I have not been asked out on a proper date or anything. I've had some inappropriate mails, and I've had, some guys like hit the DMs or something that like, hey, beautiful, like messages that you're sure he probably copy pasted and sent to, 30, 40 other women. It's nothing specific to me or anything like, hey, I really like your content. Like, you're so smart or da da da, or nothing like that. Nothing that makes me feel special or anything, bullshit. So I'm a lovely person, and because I'm obese, like the smaller version of me would get axed out. But because I'm obese, ain't nobody checking for me like that. Well, nobody that I know of, really, right? And I'm not, like, in one sense, I'm sad about it, right? In one sense. But mind you, I'm not a kid. I've been down this road. I know how it goes. I understand the game, whatever. I may not like losing, but I understand the game. Okay, I respect the rules. And so I get it. But then on the flip side, I know that when I do become attractive to men, then they're going to want me to settle. Okay, after I will have worked my ass off, I've already lost technically over 40 pounds. But at a minimum over 35 pounds, and I have like a lot more to go. But the point is, once I get to my goal weight, which is 175, men are going to want me to settle, even though I worked my ass off to get there. And yet, nobody is telling these motherfuckers to settle for me now. And a man's idea of settling is dating somebody like me, or worse, or maybe even, quote unquote, better. Like, if you think of me on a scale from 1 to 10 as a 5 or 6, which, sidebar, I don't consider a 5 or 6 to be bad. To me, that's, average. Like, to be a 6 to me is on the cute side of average. And like, it's where you start getting cute and stuff. And a 5 to me is average. Now, below a 5 is below average. It's, where you start to get unattractive. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. If you think of me as like a 5 on a scale from 1 to 10, but there are men who think that they're too good for even a 6 and maybe even a 7. But certainly, let's just stick to like, a guy who thinks he's too good for a 6 and stuff. And it's like, but all that girl has to do is make herself over, in my case, lose a significant amount of weight. And I know this from personal experience. I know of what I speak. So kiss my rear end Okay, it's been a while for me anyway. But no, seriously, kiss my rear end if you want to argue with me about it. Like, oh, you take a lot more than weight loss or something. Because I know how haters are. You know, I hang out in messages or message boards and all that kind of shit. So I know how people troll and like, oh, you know. And it's like, I'm a cute ass girl when I lose a significant amount of weight. Okay, so I already know how it goes. So at that point, it's gonna be guys trying to get me to settle, and these are the same guys who are not looking my way now. Um, One thing that bugged me when I lost weight and regained weight, that like kind of breaks my heart is I don't want to run out of time before I get this out. The way men treated me so different. I'll give you an example. Okay, so around my size, I am what I call invisible, where I rarely get hit on. Here and there, I will, you know, maybe some guy will give me a little look or be a little, you know, flirty or something, but overwhelmingly, most of the time, I am ignored. It's like I'm not even there, okay? Most of the time. I lose from where I am right now. Remember, I told you I was 301.4. I get down to the 260s, and the 260s is still morbidly obese, baby. But I get down to the 260s, and that's when I tend to become attractive to men. It's on the low, like it's my low version of attractive. Like, you know, it's not everybody. It's like here and there I start, you know, getting attractive to men. And then from like the 220s and down, it's like a flood of guys. Like I get hit on a regular basis, okay? Now, why I'm mentioning that is that many years ago when I did get down to the 220s and below, I had so many guys show me interest, and some of these guys were extremely cute. Like my mind of still thinking of myself as being this size when I was much smaller than that at that time, was just shocked at these very attractive men giving me puppy dog eyes and being so flirtatious with me and stuff. I was like, what is going on here? Well, anyway, those same dudes, when I gained just a little bit of weight, because remember, I was still chunky. Even at my smallest, I was still chunky, right? So let's say I like they were flirting with me when I was in the two teens to early 220s. Let my ass get into the 230s, 240s, and it's like, I don't know who that is. Like, who that? Do I know you? Like, you know what I mean? It all of a sudden, those same guys started ignoring me. I'm not kidding. And it was like really heartbreaking. I've been wanting to kind of talk about that, but I'm kind of talking about it now. But it's just like, how did I change as a human being in terms of like my quality as a human being? Like over 15 pounds or so, you know what I mean? But it changed, it shifted, you know, and it just, yeah, it showed me how superficial men are. And yet at the same time, society, no matter what a kind of loser a man is, never tells men lower your expectations. Okay. Like, listen, you ain't getting the Instagram baddie, you know, settle for Shirley at the grocery store. You know what I mean? Nobody's going to tell them that. But then again, there are downsides to that, because one thing I feel is like if a man doesn't find you attractive or attractive enough, then he will treat you accordingly, you know. But that's for another story. I just want to vent about that really quickly. Sorry, this has to be a short video, but I don't want to get cut off saying something important. So the next video, I'm going to be talking about how men lie about what they like. Thanks for watching. Take care. Bye.